Hi everyone, welcome back to Yarns. Now today we are going to look at the stitches that it takes to create our Santa Gnome. So this guy's actually quite simple to start off with, because he is just like one solid shape, and then you've just got the arms, the legs and the hat and the nose. So he becomes more difficult when we start adding in that beard. It's not too difficult, but it is quite time consuming. So we are going to look at a number of steps. We're going to look at our magic ring, our single crochet, our increase, our decrease. We're also going to look at our slip stitch. And then I'm actually just going to talk you through how we attached the beard here, and I'm just going to do it on a smaller scale. And we are also going to talk about how to change colours. So how we change colours from one yarn to another yarn. Cool, let's get started. Alright, so we are going to start with our magic ring. To start this, we're going to take our yarn, we are going to wrap it around those two fingers there. This creates that cross in the center. We're going to take our hook now, and we're just going to enter underneath this first piece of yarn on this side, and we're just going to pick up that back piece. We're going to pull it through and turn our hook. So you see there's a little cross there. We're then going to take our hook and insert it under this piece of yarn here and pull that through the loop that's on our hook, and that creates that loop there. I tend to pull this piece here out so that it's lying flat, not twisted around our ring that we've just made. And now you can work into your ring, creating as many stitches as you need to for your foundation. Once you have created the desired number of stitches in your foundation, you can pull tight, and that's going to close your ring and create that loop. So now we're going to create our single crochet. To do this, we're going to take our hook and we're just going to insert it into the stitch. So when you insert it into the stitch, you're going to go through both loops of the stitch. You're going to take your yarn and you're going to bring it around your hook like so and pull through the stitch. You're now going to have two loops on your hook. You're going to take your yarn again and you're just going to bring it around and pull through those two loops. That's created your single crochet. So we'll do that again. We're going to insert our hook into the stitch, bring our yarn around, pull through. We've now got the two loops on our hook, bring our yarn around and pull through, and that's going to create our single crochet. Now to create our single crochet increase, what you're going to do is you're going to create your first stitch. So you're going to do a single crochet into your next stitch like usual. Then you're going to take your hook and you're going to insert it into that same stitch that you just worked in. You're going to take your yarn around, pull through, and take your yarn around and pull through the two loops on your hook, and you're going to create that increase. So what you're doing is you're creating two stitches in the one stitch. So you do two single crochets in your next stitch, and that creates your increase. Now to create our invisible decrease, we're going to work in the back loops of the next two stitches. So an invisible decrease is taking two stitches and turning them into one. So you're going to take your hook and you're just going to insert it in the back loop of the next stitch. You're going to bring your yarn around and pull through. So now you've got two loops on your hook. You're then going to take your hook again and insert it into the back loop of the next stitch. Take your yarn, pull through, and this gives you three loops on your hook. You're then going to take your yarn and bring it around your hook and pull through all three loops, and that creates your invisible decrease. So that means that you've taken two stitches and turned them into one. Now we're going to look at doing a colour change. So what we're going to do to start off with is we're going to take our hook and we're just going to insert it into our next stitch. Now we are going to take our yarn and bring it around our hook and pull through. So it's like we're creating a single crochet as per usual, but now we're going to change a little bit. So we're going to take this piece of red yarn and we're going to bring it underneath the hook, and I'm just going to hold it underneath my thumb. So we can see now that it's just come under that hook and it's now sitting on the inside of the work. We're then going to take our next coloured piece of yarn. So this time we're using white because that's the colours involved in the Santa Gnome. So I'm just going to bring the end of the yarn, as you can see here, and I'm just going to bring it under on the inside of the work next to that red yarn, and I've just put it under that thumb to hold it there and anchor it. Now I am going to bring it underneath the hook so it's coming back out to the front side of the work, and I'm just going to wrap it around my hook so that it's there, and I'm going to pull that through those two loops. This means that I can now single crochet in the next stitch in white. So I've just changed colour. Now what I can do to anchor that is I can knot these two. So I'll cut the red off and I will knot these two so that it anchors that white yarn, and it just provides a bit of a stopper to the red and it holds it in place. Last but not least, to finish off, we're going to look at our slip stitch. So quite often we use this one as a fastening off stitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hook and we're just going to insert it into our next stitch. We're going to take our yarn, we're going to bring it around our hook and pull through, and this is going to leave two loops on the hook. Then you're going to take your hook and pull that loop through. So all you're doing is going insert, yarn around, pull through, and then we're going to take that loop and we're just going to pull it through that first loop. Now that's your slip stitch. What you can do then is you can take your yarn and just pull it through that loop that you have on the hook, pull it long, you're going to cut it off like so, and if you pull that end through and pull tight, it fastens off your work. Perfect.